Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another best builds video. The units from the Halloween banner are really unique, at least most of them are. So some of you newer players might struggle with builds or skill sets. In this video I prepared multiple builds for each of them. The first one for each hero will always be a budget set that is based on their default skill set. We're going to go in order by color: red, blue, green, then colorless. This is a budget set for Naui. Any IVs can run this set, even minus speeds. There's quite a few options for her. Iceberg or Luna are going to be her best damage specials. 27 resistance only grants her 13 damage from Iceberg, but remember that she's getting plus 5 resistance from attack res bond, so she's really getting about 16 damage. Minus resistance Naui should go with Luna though. Because her speed isn't that high and her main targets are going to be green and reds, she's going to need either Swordbreaker or Red Tonebreaker in order to take out those fast reds. You can choose between the two depending on what your team really needs. You don't see red mages that often in the current meta, so you're better off with Swordbreaker right now. If you put her in a more passive role, then Renewal is viable so she can heal past 50% in order to continue using Grimoire's effect. The last option for the B slot is Escape Route, so she can teleport around the map no matter what HP she is at. Keep in mind that Grimoire is restricted to 2 spaces while Escape Route is limitless. And as for the C slot, you probably want to just keep Home Flyers because it's such a powerful buff. But for events like Tempest Trials or Chain Challenges, you can consider giving her Breath of Life so she can heal adjacent allies. She can easily get the effect off on at least one ally because of Grimoire's effect. Second build is quite obvious. It's what I'm going to build on my Naui because she's minus attack and plus speed. So there's one problem with this set, but it's not that big of an issue. The problem is that she's the one with Home Flyers. I mean, she doesn't need the buffs from Home Flyers to use alongside her Blade Tome, but it definitely helps. Instead, you can run 1 4/5 flyers and 2 goads and it should be fine. She's still receiving about plus 20 attack, plus 14 speed, 6 defense, and 6 resistance from all of those buffs. If you have another unit with Home Flyers, then you can run 2 Home Flyers, 1 4/5, and 1 goad. In the A slot, I always prefer Fury over Life and Death when the unit is decently bulky, but I think Naui really needs the extra speed from Life and Death, which is why I'm recommending that over Fury, but either one is fine. Nothing else to say about this set. It's the most common brain dead build out there. Next up is Henry's budget set. I'm actually not 100% on what to do with Spectral Tome. I really dislike this weapon on Henry. I think the best A slot for him is either Close Counter or Distant Defense, but because this is a budget set, I'm recommending Fury. There's a lot of skills that you can use in the B slot. Bowbreaker with Deflect Missiles or Distant Defense Sacred Seal allows him to bait and kill buffed up Brave Limbs, or you can go with Renewal for self-sustain to increase his longevity, but he'll lose the ability to survive buffed up Brave Limbs. You can even consider giving him Attack Smoke in the C slot or the Sacred Seal. That way he can not only reverse the attack buffs with the Panic Smoke effect, but they also get debuffed from Attack Smoke. Second set for Henry is an Owl build with Close Counter and Green Tonebreaker or a Quick Riposte in the B slot. For this set, you want to make sure Henry is on an Armor Emblem team with 3 ward armors. 2 ward and 1 goad is fine as well. If Henry is next to all 3 allies, then he'll receive plus 6 attack, plus 6 speed, 18 defense, and 18 resistance. Assuming his stats are neutral, he'll have about 36 HP, 49 attack, 40 speed, 44 defense, and 54 resistance. And I didn't even take Spur Steals into account. He'll have insane stats to the point where he can tank and deal huge chunks of damage to sword guys who aren't able to double him. The only units that could easily kill him would be Ira or other hard-hitting sword heroes. Close Counter is the obvious A slot skill so he can counter melee units. You guys might think Quick Riposte is questionable, but I think it's okay. You're probably going to use Henry on an Armor Emblem team, which means that your arena score will be higher than usual, so you'll face quite a lot of merged enemies with high speed. In the B slot, he can also run Green Tonebreaker because a lot of green mages run Green Tonebreakers in the current meta, including Blade Tome Ninos. You'll also be facing other Henrys out there, so Green Tonebreaker will definitely help in the mirror matchup as well. Of course, I have to include this set, the Blade Tome build, because Henry is moderately tanky and can tank some counter hits. He doesn't really need Desperation like some other mages do, so instead of using Desperation in the B slot, give him Vantage. With Close Counter and Vantage together, Henry will be difficult to take down on the enemy phase, assuming that he's in Vantage range. If you don't have Close Counter, then Fury is fine as a replacement. It'll assist and bring down his health safely into Vantage range, but in exchange, he loses the ability to counterattack melee units. Armor March is a must for this set, so he can be more proactive during the player phase. Next is a Ground Raven set. This set covers 3 colors: green from Green Tonebreaker, colorless because of Ground Raven, and blues because of its typing. For the A slot, he can run Triangle Depth or its Distant Defense. This is a build made for the meta as it can counter the main 2 most problematic units, which are Reinhardt and Brave Lynn. Not very impressive player phase results, but baiting and killing on the enemy phase is where he'll mostly be used. He can bait and kill Reinhardts, both versions of Lynn, Ninos, and he can almost kill himself with the Ground Blade build. This is Jacob's budget set. It's tough to find find a good efficient A slot skill for Jacob other than close counter. I think the best A skills are probably attack plus 3, fire boost, and attack res bond 3. These are attack boosting A slot skills that can work on both phases. For the B slot, I would recommend a quick riposte or a warrior fighter. I listed quick riposte 3 here, but you can just use quick riposte 2 as a budget set. He'll need it in order to take out the popular ranged heroes. With warrior fighter equipped, Jacob won't be able to double these ranged heroes. He'll just bring them down to very low HP, which means Jacob will be in danger from enemies with Wings of Mercy. Make sure to give him Deflect Magic 3 Sacred Seal. With that equipped, he can bait and kill off Reinhardt, and naturally he can take out Brave Lynn, Bright Cordelia, and other powerful mages like Lindy, Selka, Katarina, and Nino. If you don't need him to be a Reinhardt bait, then Attack Smoke Seal is the other option to combo with Monstrous Bow. And because the set doesn't have close counter, you want to use Jacob as a ranged bait on the enemy phase and attack melees from afar during the player phase. Alright, so I think this is Jacob's best set: Slaying Bow, Ignis, or Bonfire, close counter, quick riposte, and whatever you want in the C slot, preferably Ward Armor or Armor March. The seal will be important. There's two options here: either give him Distant Defense 3 or Deflect Magic 3. I would recommend Distant Defense or Deflect Magic if you can. It's also important to note that the other armor allies that surround him should all have Ward Armor, so Jacob is granted plus 12 defense and plus 12 resistance. That way he is able to tank and kill a lot of powerful units on the enemy phase. Here are some results. This is a 0 merge Jacob versus all plus 10 merge enemies. Some enemies are buffed while some are not. As you can see, Jacob can tank and kill some of the most powerful units in the game with their optimal builds. There's plus 10 Ira, plus 10 Reinhardt with buffs. He can't really kill a plus 10 FE, he can only kill an FE up to plus 8. As for Hector, he can only kill plus 1 Hector. But still, this is why I think Jacob is better than Henry. His stats and color typing allows him to tank and kill units of all colors. The only weakness he has is Raymond Tome Triangle Dead Mages. Even then, Jacob blows out about 70% of Robin's HP. He can even tank a fully built Blade Tome Henry with plus 6 buffs. The only problem is that you're going to need to sacrifice Takumi for a close counter, and he's pretty hard to get. Last set for Jacob is a player face set. Brave Bow and Death Blow are the obvious choices here. There's not much that Jacob can run in the B slot other than Warrior Fighter. Breaker skills would allow him to quad, but it's really unnecessary. It's important that either Jacob or someone else on the team has Armor March, so Jacob can be more proactive during the player phase. You might want to run 1 Hone Armor or 1 Goad on the team, that way Jacob is granted some type of attack buff. On the player phase, he can take out quite a handful of popular units, except Ira. Ira's so busted that she survives with just 1 HP. Last hero is Sakura. This is basically her default set. Her base kit is very good, but there are some things you can change for the better. In the A slot, Attack Res Bond 3 I would say is a big upgrade to Warding Stance. She loses out on 1 resistance, but instead gains 5 attack. It's not so much needed for the enemy phase, but the extra attack is nice to have for the player phase. There's a few options for the B slot. With guard, she's able to tank the strongest Reinhardt. Quick riposte is useful to help Sakura double fast mages. Most mages are really fast, so you should definitely consider it, even though Sakura's base speed is already high. Cancel Affinity is another option to help Sakura take out Raven Tail mages. C slot is flexible, but I would recommend some type of buff or ploy skill because Sakura is going to be used as a mage bait, so she's probably around her team most of the time in the back. I recommend attack ploy here because she can debuff the mages that she will be tanking on the enemy phase. This is going to be the only build I recommend for Sakura because I think her base set is perfect. That's going to be it for this video. Let me know how you plan to build your Halloween heroes in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Fire Emblem Heroes content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.